Good morning. Today is Friday, May the 9th of 2025. And May is just rolling along, and you can get with the program or not. It's going to move on. Well, the little news I have to tell you this morning is that my girl was on TV this morning. Their class is still in New York City. They'll be back tonight, but they were on the Today Show. So we've got a big thrill about that. And one of my nieces texted and said she would need my daughter's autograph since she's famous now. But looks like it's raining in New York and probably cold. And here in my old Kentucky home, it is pretty chilly. The wind's blowing and it's cloudy and it's stormed during the night. So it's supposed to be pretty, I think, this weekend. So that'll be nice to have around. You know, I was thinking about the word, and this is probably not even a word, encouragers. Are you an encourager? I want to be an encourager, but just like everybody else, I get down and feeling sorry for myself, and like these gloomy days like this, it would be easy to get kind of down. But that's kind of my purpose that I want to be on here on YouTube, is to be encouraging to you, because I know there's a lot of people that can't get out of their houses, that are not able to get out of their houses. And I can. And I'm so thankful for that. And I've got so much to be thankful for. But I was trying to think of some things that make us, help us to encourage us. And I was thinking this morning of a morning when I get up, first thing I do is make my bed. But if you was to see my bed, it's only a quilt. I sleep between two quilts because I don't know, I'm just a little on the weird side, I guess. But the older I've gotten, I don't like sheets, and I sleep in a little twin bed, and I sleep between two quilts. So when I get up in the morning, I smooth that up and fix my cover. And if you walk out of the room and come back in, if your bed is made, to me, that just makes me feel so much better. And I'll tell you a big shock I had. My girl has always made her bed up of a morning when she first gets up. And I think she probably got that from me, because when we used to sleep together, as soon as we'd get up, I'd say, let's make the bed. And she'd be on one side and I'd be on the other, and we'd make the bed up. But, that to me is just a positive thing to start the day, is to make your bed. And anytime I walk in her room, which I don't very often, her bed is made. But when she left on this trip this week, she did not make her bed because her clock didn't go off, and I got her up, and she was kind of in a rush, so that was fine because I washed her sheets while she was gone and got her bed all cleaned up. But that's just one little positive way to start your day, that when you look at that bed in your bedroom, that bed is made up. Or it is for me. I don't know about you. But I cannot stand the bed not being made up. And I know a lot of people have said, why should I make it up? I'm just going to get back in it tonight. But to me, it's so much better to get into a bed that's been made up. I know my husband's bed, the bed he sleeps in, I always make his bed up every morning and turn the sheets back, kind of in a triangle shape. And I wash his sheets like about once a week. And when he gets in the bed that night after his sheets have just been washed, I'll say, oh, this is going to feel so good. All clean sheets. And of course, he don't think it's funny, but he might give me a little grin. But doesn't it feel good to have a nice clean bed to sleep in? Anyway, that's just my little tip for the day. But I was trying to think of some things that make me encourage me. And I know that this is backwards whenever I put it like this, but it's Thanksgiving and praise. And my little dad gave me this for Christmas in '93. Well, see, my mom had died in January of 93. So that next December, Christmas, it was up to him to give Christmas presents. I wish I had one of those envelopes in here, but I don't. So I'm just going to show you like an envelope, just one of these big envelopes. Every year at Christmas or our birthdays, mine and my brother, he would take a highlighter and like maybe put yellow highlight, pink, green, orange, and then he would write Deborah, my name on here, from Dewey. But now that was my dad. And inside, you would find $100 bill, which you couldn't be mad about that. But I have still got some of those envelopes I've saved that he would have that all colored. And sometimes now when I fix my nieces, their Christmas presents, I give them money at Christmas, I'll fix the envelope and color it like my dad did and put their name on it, and they get a kick out of that. All right, anyway, my dad gave me this little book in 93, and I put it on the bookshelf. I didn't pay, a lot of attention to it. But now in the morning when I get up, I like to read my home reading from my Sunday school book, and I'll read a page out of here. And all it is like little verses, like refuge, and there's different verses, and I'll read one page, and I put the date up here. And how much I retain of that, I don't know. But, I don't read the Bible like I should or study it like I should. But it's amazing when you hear people quoting scripture or like the preacher saying stuff, or just different times I've heard like someone saying verses, and you think, yes, I know that verse. I know that verse. But that doesn't mean I know a lot about the Bible. But I just read like one page a day. But then, at one time I got these. It's called Mornings with Jesus, and it's, I was thinking it had something to do, it's guideposts. A lot of you, I'm sure, have seen guideposts. I'm not really into these that much, but for like 2 or 3 years, I would buy these every year for my sister-in-law and me for the year. And so this is for May and June, and it has like one reading a day. And they're interesting and they're encouraging if anybody likes to do something like that. But what do you do? What do you do to encourage yourself or to make yourself more positive? Because, there's so many things in life that can get us down and that we can be so sad about. But if we dwell on that, we're just going to get down to where we can't even operate. And I don't want to be like that. Do you? And another thing that goes along with that, when I was thinking about encouragers, I was thinking about regrets that we might have in our life. Or how have you adapted down through your life? Has your life played out like you thought it would be? Now, I'm going to just admit, when I got married at 19, I got married in June, and I was 19, and in July I was 20, which I might as well have been 12 because I didn't have a lick of sense. I thought I knew what I wanted in life, that I wanted to marry, that I was in love. I could not live without this guy. But I didn't even think about next week. What was I going to do with my life? I didn't have I wasn't mature enough to think what's coming next. I was naive. I hadn't been out, lived in a small town, been to college, and, nearly flunked out, not from drinking or doping or nothing, but just from immaturity of just not being out in the world. So when I look back at my life, I heard somebody say the other day that if you say you don't have any regrets, that this person said they wouldn't have, I forgot how they said, no confidence, or they wouldn't think much of you because he thinks everybody should have some regrets down through their life. And I do. But I feel like that throughout my life, I have been I don't want to use the word caretaker, but kind of a caretaker, that I take care of those that need to be cared for, that I have not thought of myself first. Do I regret some things in my life? Yes, I probably do, but as they say, there's no sense in crying over spilt milk. So I accept what my life has handed out to me, and I accept taking care of my husband at this point in his life, having my girl at this late age, my adopted daughter. I accept that. So I'm not going to say that I have regrets. That I don't regret 1 minute of ever getting her. I regret some things I've done, some choices I've made down through the years, like with our son, raising him, that maybe, I'm sure we gave him too much, and it backfired. And it was a very miserable life for many years. And I know that probably sounds awful, but if you've ever dealt with drugs and lying and stealing, and you would understand. But I learned a lot from that situation. But anyway, we won't get into too much of that. Do you know that yesterday I was telling Lois, I was here at the house, didn't get out of the house yesterday except to go feed the horses. My husband was here all day, and I got an itch to do a video. Well, I couldn't because he was here, and he doesn't know I do YouTube. But I'm thinking I'm going to have to tell him, but I don't know. I'm not going to today because he's gone out riding around right now, so I'm not going to have to tell him today. So I thought, I might try to do a short. I don't know what beans about doing a short. And as you can tell, when my videos start, I look back at my videos, and every one of them, I'm looking some weird way at the camera with my mouth halfway hanging open. I don't know what does that. Maybe I'll learn one of these days. I'm not going to worry about it. And I thought, maybe I could do a short. So I found this little video on my phone of Max, the dog that we have now, and a little Shih Tzu that we had named Maggie. And them two, they were a hoot together. Of course, Maggie wasn't big as a peanut, and she thought she was the boss, And I just thought that video was so cute. And I don't know how I did it, but anyway, I put it up. And I think it is a short, I'm not sure. I didn't say anything. I just let the sound that was behind it, because they were kind of barking at each other. But, there's several people that's looked at that little short. But what meant more to me than anything is that someone said that brought a smile to their face yesterday. So, see, it was worth it all. That was just a little tiny bit of encouragement, a little happiness that came into her life. So, it was worth doing that. So, if I can, hey, don't hold your breath. But if I can figure out, I may do another one of just like the animals. Because let me tell you something. If my girl was to see my face on a short, she would be so embarrassed she would probably never speak to me again. Or my husband might happen to see it, and what would he think if he saw me on a video? So I'm not going to do that, okay? Anyway, today I am going to read you a funny story, and then I have got to go to the grocery, and I've got to do a thing or two. And my girl will be home tonight, and I'm so excited to see her. But she has been really having a good time the last day or two. They have been in New York all week. Of course, it's rained. It's been cold. Yesterday was a pretty day. And I was going to tell you this. Yesterday, they went to Central Park. And she had on a sleeveless shirt and the sun was shining, so I'm sure it was pretty warm. She's only FaceTimed me one time since she's been gone. She sent me a picture of her and this man and said, "Look who I found in Central Park." Well, I looked at that guy and I thought, who is this guy? And is he preying on my daughter up there without me protection? And I had to write her back and say, who is that? And she wrote me back and said, it's an anchor for ABC, Good Morning America. Well, then I recognized him. It was George Stephanopoulos. And of course, I don't know the story because she's not told me yet. But they were in Central Park yesterday in New York City, and there was George Stephanopoulos. I'm sure there was a TV crew there because they took a video of him with the kids, and it's supposed to air on Good Morning America sometime in the next few weeks, not today or anything. And they were so excited, and it was just so, and there's a picture of just her and him together, and then a video with him with, all the kids, and they're yelling, Good Morning America. So that was exciting. So we just think she's going to come back a movie star if we don't watch out. So we're glad, we're looking forward to her getting home. Okay, here is the little funny story. A lady went to a salon to dress her hair. While dressing her hair, she noticed a handsome man sitting quietly in the shop. Suddenly, the lady turned to the man and said, Mister, you are so handsome. Can we meet later today? The man replied, I'm married. The woman continued, and so? You can just tell your wife you're going to visit a friend in the hospital, and from there, and the man replied, tell her yourself, she's the one doing your hair. Better watch her mouth. Hey, you have a good weekend. It's supposed to be sunny and nice here in Kentucky. And hey, I'll see you the first of the week, unless I decide to throw a short out there every once in a while. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But have a great day and smile and be happy, and let's not be miserable. Remember, it's a choice that we make. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.